Good, happy Wednesday evening. I'm Riley King, and welcome to your evening newscast right here on WRMK News 12. I'm Riley King. We have a jam-packed broadcast this evening, so let's get started right now. First up, we're going to begin with the weather. Let's take a look at your weather. Weather right now is mostly cloudy. 43 degrees, feels like 39 degrees out there. With a full weather forecast, let's go to meteorologist Kevin Scrippa with that look at that full weather forecast in more details.
Frustrated with cable internet? It's time to cancel cable and move on to something better. Fidium Fiber Internet delivers more. Sign up today and get twice the speed of cable for the same price. Plus, lock your rate in for a year. Order today.
Still the chance of a passing rain or snow shower this afternoon. Otherwise, temperatures kind of seasonably cool as we kick off the month of November this afternoon in the upper 30s to the mid 40s. Tonight, dropping back into the 20s with clearing skies. And it will set up full sunshine for the day on Thursday and partly sunny skies Friday. Both mornings will start in the 20s, but it'll be 40s tomorrow and then back above 50 degrees by the time we get to Friday afternoon. And it looks like 50s for the weekend. Again, a chance of a passing shower this afternoon. Might be just cold enough for a couple of snowflakes as well before eventually clearing skies take hold. Lows will be in the 20s overnight tonight. Tomorrow we get back above 40 degrees, and that will be with just about full sunshine heading into the afternoon. Eventually partly sunny skies and a breeze out of the west and southwest as we go into Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. There'll be a lot of shower activity up to our north and southern parts of Canada and back out to our west as well. And there is the chance either day this weekend, with quite a few more clouds trying to build in at times, that one or two of those showers could start to nudge into the state as well. But overall, if you have outdoor activities planned for the weekend, I think you're a go. Temperatures will be fairly mild for this time of year as well, with temps in the 50s. You can see that next system gathering back out Monday afternoon to our west. That will eventually move in Monday night and into Tuesday. There's your 7-day forecast. 40s for the next few days, 20s for the next few nights, and then 50s for the weekend.
Okay, and that is a look at your weather forecast. And now let's take a look at your traffic this evening and see how your evening commute is shaping up this evening on those roadways. 93 heading into Massachusetts, not too bad of a ride there. 293, not too bad of a ride as well. 89, not too bad of a ride as well. 93 around the Concord stretch, not too bad of a ride there as well. 393 between Concord and Chichester, you got a nice smooth sailing ride there as well. Route 4, not too bad of a ride there as well. Route 16 of the Spotling, not too bad of a ride as well. 95 from Maine, New Hampshire into the border of Massachusetts, not too bad of a ride as well. Sorry about that. 101, not too bad of a ride as well. And Merrimack, Nashua into that border of Massachusetts, not too bad of a ride there as well. That's a look at your evening traffic for this evening. Now let's get into your news. First up, a serious crash on Route 101 west in Auburn caused delays earlier this morning. Let's take a listen to that report.
We're getting a word of some issues on the road there in Auburn. We're told 101 West is backed up due to a serious crash between exits 2 and 3. Our crew at the scene there says traffic appeared to be backed up for at least a mile. And they say one person was still in the car. It's not clear how many people were involved in this or the extent of any injuries. Again, this is on 101 West there in Auburn this morning, causing a backup. We'll keep you updated on any new details.
And good thing the traffic is looking better this evening. Judge dismisses lawsuit to keep former President Trump off New Hampshire primary ballot. Let's take a listen to that report from WMUR News 9.
Unwrap good vibes with Brazilian-inspired beauty from Sol de Janeiro.
In Commitment 2024, a judge has dismissed a lawsuit aimed at keeping former President Donald Trump off the ballot in the First in the Nation primary. John Anthony Castro is a lesser-known Republican candidate from Texas. He argues that Trump is not eligible to run because of the insurrection clause in the 14th Amendment and that votes would be taken away from him if Trump is on the ballot. The judge ruled that Castro does not have the standing to bring this claim. Castro has filed an appeal.
Okay, and there you go on that report. Bow police say girl told them she found a sewing needle inside a candy bar. Let's take a listen to that report from WMUR News 9.
Yeah, that's right, Gene. They are, and they told me that this is an isolated incident. They haven't received any other calls like this in Bow, and luckily around the state. Now, this all happened last night around 6:30. Remember, that's Halloween night, and it happened right in the middle of trick-or-treating hours here in Bow. Now, according to police, a partially opened mini Snickers was found on the ground on Longview Drive here in Bow, and a 12-year-old girl picked it up and bit into it, finding a sewing needle inside. Luckily, the girl was not injured, and Bow Police Chief Ken Miller says he hasn't heard of an incident like this before.
Yeah, it's very unusual. I can't tell you at this point exactly how it got there or what the intentions were, but it is something that typically it doesn't happen. Like I said, the Bow community is a very safe community, and
a really unfortunate incident, but Chief Miller says to please, parents, check all of their kids' candy before they eat it. He also says that they are still investigating, and if anybody has any more information, to please give them a call. We're live here in Bow. Troy Lynch, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that report. Former Delta co-pilot indicted for threatening to shoot captain during a flight, officials say. Let's take a listen to that report from CBS News.
You're such a good listener, Thomas. It makes me feel so special.
You are special. If you don't mind, if you could just...
A former Delta Airlines co-pilot is facing charges over an alleged disturbing incident that happened mid-flight, mid-air. Prosecutors say he threatened to shoot a fellow pilot while in the cockpit just last year if that pilot diverted the flight to help a sick passenger on board. Chris Van Cleve has our report.
A cockpit confrontation involving a gun mid-flight. In a federal indictment filed last month, prosecutors accused former Delta First Officer Jonathan Dunn of threatening to shoot the flight's captain in August of 2022. The Department of Transportation's Inspector General's office says Dunn allegedly had a disagreement with the captain who wanted to divert the flight due to a passenger medical event. Dunn allegedly told the captain they would be shot multiple times if the flight diverted. According to court documents obtained by CBS News, a Utah grand jury indicted Dunn 2 weeks ago on one count of interference with a flight crew. CBS News has reached out to Dunn for comment. Delta confirms Dunn was working as a Delta First officer on that flight when the incident occurred, but is no longer employed by the airline. Dunn was legally carrying the gun in the cockpit as part of the TSA's Federal Flight Deck Officer program. Pilots go through 60 hours of training, allowing them to be armed when working on a domestic flight. News of this situation comes on the heels of another mid-air incident last week when an off-duty Alaska Airlines pilot, Joseph Emerson, allegedly attempted to shut off the plane's engines. Court documents say he told police he was having a nervous breakdown.
These two isolated issues, obviously both very concerning to the traveling public.
Ross Feinstein, a former TSA press secretary, says these incidents will renew calls for getting pilots the resources they need.
Moving forward, there'll be some questions about mental health for pilots in terms of those issues that may occur in the cockpit.
Dunn is set to be arraigned later this month. For CBS Mornings, I'm Chris Van Cleve in Phoenix.
He's right when he says this is very concerning to the traveling public. What is happening in the cockpits?
Yeah, being on a plane is supposed to be one of the safest places.
Yeah, and it is statistically. I mean, it's safer than a car, is what they say, right? I
They
mean,
say that.
pilots are people too, and so they undergo stress. I think they should have the mental health care available to them that they need. I do know, because I've done a story on it, that they have wonderful care for addiction, alcoholism, and the rest. I would be surprised if they didn't also have that mental health component involved.
Yeah, unfortunately, we're used to passengers being unruly, but not stuff going on in the cockpit.
Yeah, yeah, you want that to be settled.
That's right.
Sure.
Okay, and there you go on that report. And that is it for this evening edition of your evening newscast right here on WRMK News 12. Thank you for tuning in and watching. Have a great evening, and I'll see you back here tomorrow night for another broadcast. Good night and goodbye.